8 Essential Pillars of Support After 60 Stronger Than Family. After the age of 60, life begins to slow down. The children have grown up and are busy with their own families. Friends become fewer, and health is no longer what it used to be. Many people think old age is a time of dependence, but in truth, this is the moment when you need solid pillars of support more than ever. And surprisingly, some of those pillars can be even stronger than family, quiet forces that help you stay grounded, healthy, and fulfilled each day. In this video, we'll explore the 8 essential pillars of support after 60 things that may seem simple, but carry the power to help you overcome loneliness, maintain independence, and truly enjoy life again. Stay with us until the end, because you might just discover what you've been missing and how to start building the life you truly deserve. So, what do we mean by pillars of support? These are the essential foundations in life, the things that keep you steady, both physically and emotionally, especially when facing the changes and challenges that come with life after 60. We often assume that family will always be our main source of support. And yes, in many cases, family is invaluable, but the truth is, family isn't always available because of distance, life circumstances, or simply because everyone has their own path to follow. That's why you need more than just one support system. You need strong, lasting pillars, built by you, for you, to help you stay independent, empowered, and fulfilled in this next chapter of life. And now, let's begin the journey to discover the 8 essential pillars of support after 60 ones that can truly transform how you live every day. Pillar 1. Physical health. Health is your new wealth. After 60, health isn't just a good idea, it's your foundation. If you want to stay independent, enjoy your days, and keep doing the things you love, your health has to come first. At this stage of life, your body becomes your most valuable asset, more precious than money, more reliable than plans, and more essential than even your biggest dreams. The good news? Taking care of your health doesn't have to be overwhelming. It starts with small, intentional choices. Eating better, not perfect. Just a little less sugar, a bit more fiber, more water. Moving your body, not for six-pack abs, but to stay mobile and pain-free. Walk the dog, try Tai Chi, tend the garden. It all counts. Prioritizing rest, not just sleep, but real recovery. Your body needs time to heal. And yes, keeping up with checkups. Catching small issues early can make a huge difference down the line. Now, a lot of folks say, "I'm old. What's the point of being fit anymore?" Here's the point. When you're healthy, you're in control. You can dress yourself, drive where you want, cook your favorite meal, and stay out of the hospital. And that freedom? That's everything. You keep your dignity, you lift pressure off your family, and you get to enjoy life on your terms. Just remember this: you can always earn more money, but once your health is gone, no amount of money can buy it back. So if you're wondering where to begin, start right here. Start with your health, because when you're strong, everything else becomes possible. Brain Pillar 2. Mental health, peace of mind over everything. We talk a lot about physical health as we age, but here's something just as important, maybe even more. Your mental well-being, your peace of mind. Did you know that loneliness after 60 can be as harmful as smoking? A Harvard study found that social isolation raises the risk of early death by up to 26%. That's the same impact as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. It's a powerful reminder that mental health isn't just about emotions, it's about survival. When your mind is calm and steady, everything in life feels more manageable. Your health, your relationships, even your sense of purpose. So how do we protect that peace? It doesn't take big changes, just small habits practiced consistently. 10 minutes of quiet each morning, a bit of meditation or deep breathing to clear the mental clutter. Getting enough restful sleep, because your brain needs time to heal too. Keeping a gratitude journal. writing down 3 small things you're thankful for every day. And most importantly, staying connected with people who bring peace into your life, even if it's just a 5-minute phone call once a week. Let me introduce you to Shirley, a 72-year-old widow from Oregon. After her husband passed and her kids moved out of state, she slipped into a quiet sadness. Then one day, she joined a free meditation class at the local senior center. She didn't talk much at first, just listened, breathed, and painted quietly during art sessions. Now, 2 years later, she says, "I still live alone, but I don't feel lonely anymore." That's the power of a peaceful mind. It doesn't erase life's pain, but it gives you the strength to carry it. With grace, with resilience, and with hope. Because when your mind is healed, you don't just survive, you begin to feel alive again. Even on the quietest, simplest days. Pillar 3. Circle of friends. Choose the right friends. As we get older, one of the quietest fears many face is loneliness. But here's the beautiful truth. Friendship can be the warmest comfort in the colder seasons of life. Not the kind that needs constant phone calls or big social gatherings, but the kind where someone simply remembers your name, your story, and asks, "How are you holding up today?" Friendships in later life are different. They're lighter, freer, and sometimes even more nurturing than family. There are no expectations to be the strong one or the fixer. It's enough to meet for morning coffee, take a stroll through the neighborhood, or share a laugh over old memories. Let me tell you about George, a 68-year-old retired high school teacher from Wisconsin. After retiring, he found himself feeling a bit invisible at home. His grown kids were busy with their own families. His wife had her own rhythm. Then, one Sunday at church, he bumped into an old colleague from decades ago. They started grabbing coffee, going for walks. That turned into a weekly breakfast with a few more retired teachers. Now, George says, "That Thursday morning table at the diner? That's my therapy. We don't talk about much, but we always leave smiling." Friends are the family you choose. And after 60, the right friends don't just pass the time, they give time meaning. They remind you that you're still funny, still wise, still needed. So if there's someone you haven't spoken to in a while, a former coworker, a neighbor, an old friend from high school, give them a call. Chances are, they've been thinking about you too. Pillar 4. Lifelong learning. Stay curious. Stay young. There's something we don't often talk about, but it's true. You don't grow old when your hair turns gray. You grow old when you stop learning. After 60, learning isn't about grades or job promotions anymore. It's about keeping your mind sharp, your spirit excited, and your days filled with meaning. Picking up a new skill, reading books, exploring technology, even learning how to bake something new or speak a few words in another language. These things aren't small. They are powerful tools that keep your brain flexible and your heart full. Research has shown that seniors who continue to learn form new neural pathways in the brain, helping improve memory, focus, and even reduce the risk of dementia. Let me share a story that may sound familiar. John, a retired postal worker in Ohio, found himself bored and restless after retirement. One day, his granddaughter showed him how to use a tablet. That small moment sparked something. He signed up for a Technology for Seniors class at the local library. A year later, John has a YouTube channel where he reviews classic movies, chats with viewers, and even learned basic video editing. He says, "I thought my learning days were behind me. Turns out, they were just beginning, and now, I feel more alive than I have in years." Curiosity is the spark of youth, and learning is how you keep that spark burning. So whether it's learning to play an instrument, trying a painting class, or finally figuring out how to use Instagram, just start. Because the moment you stop saying, "I'm too old for that," is the moment you remember, you're never too old to grow. Pillar 5. Community and social connection. Belonging matters. We all want to feel seen, to feel like we matter. That doesn't go away with age. In fact, after 60, the need for connection becomes even stronger. Being part of a community isn't just about attending events or having people to chat with. It's about belonging, being accepted, valued, and having a place where you're missed when you're not around. Studies have shown that older adults who stay socially active tend to live longer, healthier lives. They have lower rates of anxiety, better cognitive health, and even stronger immune systems. But the beauty of community? It doesn't have to be big. It just has to be real. Take Mary, 70, from Oregon. After her husband passed away, she spent months in silence, only leaving home for groceries. One day, she saw a flyer at the grocery store. Knitting circle, Tuesdays at the library. She didn't know anyone. She hadn't knit in years. But something told her, go anyway. That first meeting was awkward. She barely spoke, but she came back the next week. Now, 2 years later, that small knitting group is her second family. She laughs. She shares. She even teaches newcomers. They helped me remember who I am outside of grief. Mary says, I belong again. You don't need 100 friends. You just need a few who make you feel seen. So whether it's joining a book club, a walking group, volunteering, or even just chatting with neighbors, find your circle. Create your space. Because no matter your age, you deserve to feel connected, supported, and part of something bigger than yourself. Pillar 6. Financial independence, freedom through money. Let's be honest, money isn't everything. But when you don't have enough of it, it can feel like everything. After 60, financial independence isn't about wealth. It's about freedom, dignity, peace of mind. It means not having to rely on your kids for every medical bill. It means having the confidence to say yes to a dinner out, a weekend trip, or a new hobby, without guilt or worry. Many people feel uncomfortable talking about money in later life. But the truth is, it's one of the most empowering conversations you can have. Whether you're living on a pension, savings, or Social Security, the key is control, knowing what you have, what you need, and how to make it last. Now meet Frank, a 73-year-old veteran from Texas. He never made a lot of money, but he was disciplined. He tracked his spending, avoided debt, and downsized to a smaller home when his kids moved out. Today, he volunteers, goes fishing, and treats himself to good coffee every morning, not because he's rich, but because he planned for peace. I don't need much, Frank says, but I like knowing that I don't have to ask anyone for it. Financial independence isn't about having a lot. It's about needing less and feeling secure. So whether you're managing a tight budget or investing for the future, remember, every dollar you handle with intention is a step toward more freedom, more choices, and more self-respect. Because the goal isn't to die with millions. The goal is to live with freedom and leave with grace. Pillar 7. Purpose and meaning. Purpose beyond retirement. You've worked, you've raised kids, you've paid your dues. And now, what? For many, retirement comes with a question no one warned them about. If I'm no longer needed at work, who am I now? That's where purpose comes in. Because no matter your age, you still matter, and the world still needs what you have to give. Purpose doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't mean starting a nonprofit or writing a bestseller. Sometimes it's mentoring a younger neighbor. Sometimes it's teaching your grandchild how to cook the family's secret recipe. Sometimes it's just showing up with kindness, with wisdom, with patience. Let me tell you about Linda, 67, from North Carolina. After retiring from nursing, she felt lost. Her identity had always been about helping others, so who was she now? Then she started volunteering once a week at a local food pantry. She greeted people, handed out bags, listened to their stories, and one day, a young mother looked her in the eye and said, "You made me feel human again. Thank you." Linda walked home in tears. Not because she was sad, but because she felt useful again. Having a reason to get up in the morning is powerful. It gives you energy, structure, pride, and it reminds you, you are still part of something bigger than yourself. So whether your purpose is helping others, creating beauty, offering wisdom, or simply being present for those around you, don't let retirement be the end. Let it be the beginning of your most meaningful years. Because purpose isn't about what you do. It's about what you give and how you live. Pillar 8. Spirituality and inner peace, inner strength that carries you through. There are moments in life, especially as we grow older, when strength has nothing to do with muscles. It's the quiet strength inside you that matters most. Call it faith, call it spirituality, call it stillness. Whatever name you give it, it's the part of you that stays steady when everything else begins to change. Spirituality isn't about religion, though it can be. If that's meaningful to you, it's about connection to something larger, to something deeper, to peace, even in the face of pain. Meet Walter, 75. From Arizona, he lost his wife of 50 years. And for a while, he said life felt empty. But he started attending a weekly meditation group at the local community center. He didn't talk much at first. He just sat, breathed, reflected, and slowly, something shifted. He found moments of peace, not because the grief went away, but because he learned to carry it differently. I don't know what tomorrow brings, Walter says, but I'm not afraid of it anymore. That's the gift of spiritual strength. It doesn't erase the storms. It teaches you how to stand in the rain without breaking. Whether it's prayer, meditation, time in nature, or quiet moments with a journal, make space for your soul. Not because you're weak, but because you're wise enough to know. Peace isn't something you find. It's something you grow from within. So here we are, 8 essential pillars. Not just ideas, not just advice, but foundations. Foundations for a life that still matters, still grows, still belongs to you. Because let's face it, family isn't always nearby. Kids get busy, life moves on. And when it does, these pillars become your home, the roof over your head when storms come, the ground beneath your feet when everything feels uncertain. Your health, your peace, your friendships, your purpose, your mind, your community, your finances, your inner strength. They are the parts of life you can build, shape, and return to at any age. And the beautiful truth? It's never too late to start. Not yesterday, not someday, but today. So now let me ask you, right finger how many of these 8 pillars are part of your life right now? Right finger and which one do you feel called to strengthen first? We'd love to hear your thoughts, your stories, your struggles, your successes. Speech balloon, drop a comment below and share your journey. Someone else may need to hear it. And if this video gave you something to think about, please like, share, and subscribe, because we'll be bringing more real conversations that matter. Not just about getting older, but about living better, stronger, fuller. Your next chapter starts now, and we're honored to